This one is for the Honda Grom boys. In today's episode, we're going to do a comparison on exhaust. And we're going to find out, is it worth spending hundreds of pounds on a real Yoshi exhaust, or
do you buy one from AliExpress for a fractionate price?
It absolutely rips. Oh. Handmade right here in the UK, in my shop. Welcome to NAWFABZ. So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's video. This one is all about these, the Honda Groms. This one is probably going to be interesting for quite a few of you. So I've just bought this. It's a 2025 Honda Grom.
This is a 21-22 Honda Grom.
And today we're going to find out, is it worth spending 700 quid on one of these, a real Yoshimura exhaust, or
£70 on one of these AliExpress ones.
We're going to cover everything in this video. We're going to do a before sound test. As you can see, both of them have got exactly stock exhaust. Even though this one is a newer shape, the bike itself is relatively the same, the engine's the same, the bikes are near enough the same thing, except a couple of panel differences. We're going to do a complete test on both of these exhausts. Now this one, I got this on a bit of a deal. I think it cost me about 620 quid-ish or something like that, but they are about just under 700 quid, about 680 I think. This one is the Yoshi Loop exhaust. May obviously got the alternative. He went on AliExpress and he got the one for 80 quid plus delivery.
70 plus postage, like 100 quid all in.
So 100 quid versus pretty much 700 quid. We're going to unbox them. As you can see, this is the box mine came in. There's a big difference in the box. Mine's a hell of a lot bigger. His is a lot smaller. Mine's branded, his is not, but that's to be expected with a copy exhaust. So we're going to unbox them. We're going to compare the actual pipes themselves. We're going to do a before clip, we're going to do an after sound clip, and then we're going to go out on the road and we're going to have a drag race. We're going to see if it does actually make any difference in power, because these claim this adds a 2 horsepower increase to your bike, which 2 horsepower might not sound a lot, but when you've only got 11 to start with, less than 11, I'm not sure what they are, but they're less than 11 from factory, 2 horsepower might actually make a fair difference. So we'll go out, we'll test the bikes back to back, and we're going to see, does it actually make any difference to power? Is it worth spending the extra money, or should you just go straight to AliExpress and just buy the clone one? Let's get cracking and let's find out. So before we get to fitment, let's have a sound clip. I'm pretty sure they're going to sound exactly the same, but just for argument's sake of this video, let's see what they sound like. Nice and quiet idle. Pretty pants. Not gonna lie, very underwhelming. Pretty pants sounding. That's the 25 model. Let's just make sure the 21, 22 model sounds same. I'm guessing it's probably gonna. Sounds pretty same on tick over to me.
Yeah.
Identical. Literally identical. No sound difference whatsoever. Both sound very underwhelming, to say the least. Now, they're not a CBR 1000, so we're not expecting them to sound amazing, but it's nice to have a little bit of sound while you're riding. So to start with, let's go for the real one. Let's go for the obvious to start with. The box is obviously a lot nicer. Realistically, who cares about the box? Nobody. We're not interested in the box. Box could be all nice and his might actually be better than this one. So to start with, let's have a little look. Now I have opened the box, just wanted to make sure they'd sent me the right thing before anything. So it all comes nice and neatly packaged in little plastic bags, all labelled with their own little part number. Now there is going to be an issue with this going on a 2025, but we'll get to that a little bit later on in the video. So there is the main section, the loop exhaust. I'm going to be straight with you, first impressions are not great. It's all MIG welded. If I'm spending £700 on a Grom exhaust, I would like to see TIG welds on it. And first thing I'm seeing is MIG welds. Now if you're new to this channel, I am a fabricator. I do build exhausts for cars for a living, and we don't put MIG welding near anything. Everything is TIG welded, so slightly disappointing on a £700 exhaust to see snotty MIG welds. I will give you a close-up. So initially, not the best start. And there's another section which is the loop that links to the loop, I believe, or this might, yeah, it does. That links to the loop, goes in the back box. Again, we're seeing snotty MIG welds. Not great. They've been ground down. It is what it is. I'm not seeing £700 worth of exhaust as of yet. Also in the box, we do get some nice branded springs. We get that looks like a spring puller in there. Assembly instructions. That is a little something I've ordered extra, which we'll get to very shortly. And that's everything what we get in the box, along with the rear end can. Now, here is where I'm expecting to see some difference with the AliExpress one, or I'd like to think so. This is real carbon fibre, so it really should be for £700. We've got a nice little plaque on the side there, which is riveted in. This is TIG welded around the edge, but again, we're seeing MIG welds on the bracket. It feels quite heavy, quite weighty. It does feel good quality, I won't lie. It does feel really nice quality. But then again, so it should. It cost just about 700 quid. So all in all, first impressions, is it worth £700? Working in the field I work in, I'd probably say not. I'm not seeing £700 worth of work. It doesn't look great. It better sound amazing. So there's the real one. That's what effectively 680 quid will buy you. Or I don't know what it is in dollars. I don't know what it is in USA. Obviously I'm based in the UK. £680 gets you that for a Honda Grom exhaust. Your go. Let's have a look at this work of art then.
What do we want first?
Whatever comes out of the box, let's have a look.
Hydraulic springs, I'm guessing.
Most likely.
Well packaged, though.
So yeah, well packaged. Just say it's a clone exhaust. Now straight away, what I'm seeing with this one. How ironic! The 80 quid one is TIG welded up. Again, I will get you some close-ups to these welds. I'm not going to lie to you boys. Straight off the bat, the AliExpress one is looking...
Took a bit of damage away from China.
Where's the damage? Oh yeah, the end. We have got a little bit of damage to that. That's no issue. I've got all the gear here to sort that. It literally just wants opening back up. That's fine. But the welds on the clone one are twice as good as what's on the real one. Now there's an interesting fact, isn't it? This one looks a lot better made than the real one. So that's not going to go in there until we sort that damage out on there. Now this is obviously not a loop exhaust. Does it matter? We'll find out later in the video, won't we? We'll see, does it actually give you more power? So first impressions of the AliExpress one, it looks damn better than the original one, which is sickening. Here's the main event then. What does the clone?
Full carbon can.
The real carbon, or is it?
You tell me, it's meant to be. I paid, I think it was 20 quid extra for real.
So here's where your difference is in your cheaper one to your aftermarket one. This one is a hell of a lot lighter than the real one. Does it look as nice? Of course it doesn't, no. It doesn't look as nice. Is that real carbon fibre? I'd say so. I would say that is probably real carbon fibre. It does look a bit dodgy, but I think it's just because that's a matte finish, this is a gloss finish. A couple of differences I'm seeing. This one has got a removable baffle in it. The original one does look like it. It's got the same thing there. Look, it's got the same bung, so it does look like they both do have a removable baffle. The original one, I won't lie, does look better.
Way heavier, that one.
It's way heavier, isn't it? So does it feel good quality? Yeah. Better quality? Yeah, I'd say the real one does feel better quality. Does it look slightly better? You'd think this one was missing the logo, but
here it is.
AliExpress supply you with
a
stick-on logo. So it's obvious it's a fake. It is like night and day difference. It's obvious it's a fake, but what do you expect? It was like, God knows, 7 times cheaper than what the original one is. But you know what? At first impressions, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm pretty impressed with that. All TIG welded up. It's not as nice. This end piece is welded on mine. On this one, it's riveted. It's definitely not as nice. But again, for 80 quid, that's pretty damn nice. I'm quite happy with that for 80 quid.
See what it sounds like shortly.
Yeah, happy with it. So next thing is going to be fitment. Is the AliExpress one going to fit, or are we going to have to chop it up? Who knows? That's the next part of this test. So for stage 1, who would you say wins? It's a tough one, isn't it? I'd say this could be a tie. Your pipe work looks a lot nicer. a lot nicer welded. I'd say the real end can looks a lot nicer, feels a lot better quality. So who wins round one? I'd probably say this is a tie. I'd say they're both pretty even, in all honesty with you. Next step, fitment. Right, so there is some differences in this. This is the first time we've ever actually properly looked at side of these. Now, in terms of the engine, it looks very, very similar. Cylinder head casing, all that, all looks very, very similar between them both. I can't see any differences apart from one difference, what I've just noticed. So we're gonna let you know what tools you need to do this job. Now, that's where I noticed a difference. The lander sensor on the earlier one is not in the exhaust system. It's into the actual cylinder head here, right on the exhaust port. So there is actually no sensors whatsoever in the 21, 22 exhaust system at all. It's just a straight pipe. There's nothing in there at all. Unsure if that's a cat on this one. I'm led to believe it is a cat, or at least on the 2025 models it is. I'm not sure on this one. So come over here, and this is where the differences start on this one. These come with these from factory, but you can buy them for them. And there's no bottom on it, it's just an empty bottom, so I don't think we're gonna have to remove it to take exhaust off. We'll sure find out, but I don't think so. But if you can come around here and look down here, or even underneath, if you come underneath, you'll see that the oxygen sensors on the 2025 are in the exhaust, and there's two of them, there's not just one of them. Which, if you remember earlier in the video, I said that's gonna become a problem because they don't make a Yoshi exhaust for a 2025 model. Now, I'm 99.9% sure the exhaust is going to bolt on, but obviously it hasn't got a lander sensor for the second one in the exhaust system. So I did have to order a new one. I will put the link in the description to the exact one that you need with all the thread dimensions and everything else, so you can order the correct one. If you are fitting this exhaust on a 2025 model, you will need to have a lander sensor boss welded in the exhaust, which for me is no problem whatsoever. I will weld that in myself. I'll show you that a little bit later on, but just bear that in mind if you are going to order a Yoshi exhaust for a 25 or even an AliExpress one for a 2025, you are going to need to put a lander sensor port in the Yoshi one. Now the AliExpress one doesn't have any lander sensors in it whatsoever, doesn't have any in it. So if you are wanting to fit this exhaust on a 2025 model, we will check as well, by the way, when we strip it all off, we will see if that this one does line up to a 2025 model as well as the 21, 22 model, just to clear things up. Does it actually fit? You can see here this one does actually come with a lander sensor boss, but it's not the correct one. You do need an adapter, which again I will link in the description. These come with a 18 by 1.5 threaded boss, which is not the correct one for this engine. You do need the M12, I want to say. Again, I will clarify if it's wrong. I'll put it up on the screen. The link will be in the description for the adapter, which will screw straight into the real Yoshi exhaust. And then the link will also be in the description for the boss, which we will need to weld into this exhaust along the line somewhere here. Again, as I said, not a problem. Doesn't matter whether I'm putting it in this one. If I was going to fit an AliExpress one on the 2025 model, providing it does fit, you are going to need to put two of these in there. So one there, one there. In fact, you're not going to need to put two of these in because the lander sensor for one of them is in the cylinder head. So yeah.
Not on 25 though, is it?
On the original one, I mean. On the 21, you won't need to put any lander sensor bosses in or anything because it's in the cylinder head. But if you are wanting to fit an AliExpress one on a 25 model, you are going to need to put two lander sensors in it. So the links to those will be in the description if you do want to fit either of these exhausts on your bike. So we're going to get the one stripped off of the 2025 model now. As I said, we will, when it's off, out of the way, we will see if the AliExpress one does line up, because this one might sound amazing, might be just as good as that one. So we will check it actually does fit for you boys, and then if it does fit, you know, for future. Let's get it off and let's find out. But anyway, before we start, here's the tools you are going to need. You're going to need essentially 4 tools. Same on both bikes, we've checked them. You're going to need a 12mm. If you are running a cover like this with no bottom on it, you are going to need an extension. So you're going to need a 12mm socket. Sadly, I don't know what this is in American. I'm not very good with imperial sizes, but in metric, you're going to need a 12mm socket with an extension. That's to undo that. If your bike does have lander sensor in the exhaust, you're going to need a 17mm spanner. On mine, it's also got this cover, which is underneath, which covers the lander sensor. I don't know why. You're going to need a 10mm quarter drive socket with a short socket. That gets straight on there. You can undo the 10mm. And then last but not least, you're going to need a 12mm spanner for the main mount. It's nutted on the back, 12mm on the front. That is the only 4 tools you're going to need to do this job. So let's stop yakking. Let's get it off. Let's see. there is the old exhaust system off. When I tell you that took me literally under 5 minutes, I'm not even joking, but again, it is a brand new bike. It's got less than 20 miles on it. Might be a little bit of a difference on a bike what's done 10,000 miles, but yeah, that just came off a dream. Everything came undone under 5 minutes, and it was off with the tools what I told you. So the question is, let's try Alibaba, AliExpress special. Let's see, would that line up to a 2025 bike? Now, it's not going on this bike, but let's just see if it would line up, because if it's good, I'm guessing you're all going to want to order that one, and not the real one. Like a glove. That bit anyway, I'll just quickly sling that bolt in. You know, I'm going to be so pissed off if this lines up perfect and it's all amazing compared to the one that I've spent all that money on. Just quickly sling a header nut on as well.
Boss, that might be an issue, man. That sensor drops right on that.
You'd pull it out of that wire clip
yeah,
there, like that.
Put it in a bit further down.
So this is the lander sensor's in a wire clip. You would have to pull it out, but you'd weld a boss in there. You'd weld another boss in there. The mid pipe fits on like an absolute glove. Literally lines up perfect. What about the back section? No. So no, it doesn't line up to a 2025 bike.
Whoa. Just before you all go and spend £700 on a real Yoshi exhaust, I'd just like to point out at this very point in the video, me and May made an absolute catastrophic schoolboy error, which will be made known in the end of the video. Just know, everything I say in the next 5 minutes is absolute nonsense, and this would fit on a 2025 bike. Watch till the end of the video, and you'll see the biggest mistake of my life.
Which begs the question, is it going to line up to a 2021 bike?
Just wants a trim down on pipe here, doesn't it, if not?
Bloody Nora.
And then change it.
As you can see, it's about 2 inches off. That's not filling me full of confidence, because I'm not seeing a great deal of difference between mine and between yours, because that looks like the exact same part.
Yeah.
Well,
Get what you pay for.
you get what you pay for, so it seems. Would it fit? With some work. Let's whip it off. Let's see if the real one fits. So we'll set that to one side. Let's try the real one. There goes the real one. So we're not going to bolt it on properly, because I do need to weld that boss in, but I just want to have a trial run just to make sure it even looks something like before I start cutting holes in it. Does it line up to there? Yes, it does. So before we bolt, I'm not going to bolt it all up tight. I just want to make sure it actually lines up to foot peg mount, in all honesty, because this is not listed for a 2025 model. Yeah. Would I say it's perfect? No. It's going to take a little bit of pressure to twist that into... Oh, no, it's not. There we go. Yeah. Does the real one line up? It lines up like a glove. Do I need to cut my panel? No, I don't need to cut anything. That sensor will go straight in there. The only thing I am going to need to do is, as we know, I'm going to need to weld that boss into there. I knew that before I even purchased this. So fitment-wise, on the 25 model, it's a win for the real one. But the fake one's not going on this bike. So for a second, we're just going to leave that as it is. We're going to leave that loose. And we're going to get the one off the 21. And we're going to see if the fake one lines up to the 2021. It's not looking good. Welder might be coming out here. So same procedure for the early one, the 21. Let's get the old exhaust off and let's offer up the fake one. So there's the exhaust off the 21 model. Didn't quite come off as nice as the 25 model one. We did have to give it a little bit of a hammer. It was seized on the head, and it also pulled one of the head studs out. Probably for the best, because it looks pretty solid, so we didn't want to warm it up and risk disturbing it. We'll just put some grease on it. We'll just screw studs back into the head. Well, the big question is, are we firing welder up? Or is the 21 different? To me, it doesn't look like it. I can't see this fitting. I'm slightly concerned, but we'll see. Let me get a bit of grease for these studs.
Just put it in with this one for a minute, because it's going to be coming back off.
Might be coming back off. It's just tighten it. Cylinder head's got a bit of corrosion on this one. How many miles has this done?
Nearly 3,000.
Not a lot, has it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's bad corrosion, but just bear in mind if you're doing yours and it's a higher mileage one or wherever you live. We do live in UK, so a lot of cold weather, a lot of water.
Salty roads.
Salty roads. We will put all this together with grease when we put it back together just to make sure. Right, we'll leave that loose like that. The big question, is the silencer going to fit or are we welding it on? I have a feeling we'll be cutting that pipe down and welding it on because that spring fit's not going to work if we cut that down. Our survey says the 80 quid AliExpress one does not fit. As you can see, we've got a big gap between the mount and the thing. So the solution here is going to be, if we cut this down to make it fit, we're going to have to cut it down so far. I don't think it's going to work on a slip joint because we're going to have to cut all of the straight off. I mean, we'll try, we'll give it a whirl, we'll try and do that. I think what will be happening here is that's stainless, this is stainless. I think it'll be going in the right spot. That'll be getting a weld around it. I feel like that's the easiest solution. So on the fitment, this is a win for the real one. Real one fits perfect. Get what you pay for.
Yep.
700 quid, 80 quid, 100 quid, yeah. So sadly, it is not a win for the fake one. I think what we'll do now is we'll get the modified, we'll get this one modified, we'll get a boss welded into this one. That one can then go on, it can stay on, and we can deal with that shenanigans. If you can weld, it's not really a problem. If you can't weld, or you don't know someone that can weld, this is going to be a problem for you. So the real one takes the win. Let's get it back off, let's get that boss welded in, and then we'll deal with the other one afterwards.
So although I am an idiot and I have missed something so simple it will blow your mind, that will come apparent later on in the video, I am still going to give the win to the real one because I do think it fits better even with the actual solution of the fake one. It just fits nice, straight out of the box with no added extras, shall we say. Keep watching.
First step then, we're going to need to mark the wire on this one. We do need to pull it out. It's got a little cable clip. We do need to pull it out of there, and then I'm just going to simply put a pen mark on it and I'm going to weld boss in. Now for me, this is an easy job. I am a welder fabricator by trade. I've got all the gear and this is going to take me 10 minutes maximum to put this in there. No biggie. So there's going to be a little bit of modification if you wanted to fit either of them to a 2025 model. Would I consider it major work? Nah, not really. So I've dropped a mark on it. Let's whip it off, drill an hole in it. Let's get this boss on. Snap, that one is fitted. Now it weren't as straightforward as we thought. Did have to do a little bit of faffing around. So where I'd welded the sensor on, I did have to chop a little bit of a bracket out under here. That's not the bike's fault, neither the exhaust fault, that's my fault. I sort of welded it in a little bit of a wonky place. Bit of a bad judgment by me. If I'd have just tilted the sensor down a little bit, that would have avoided that. And also you might notice here, I've had to have a little bit of a trim out on linisher, or sander or whatever you want to call it, just because it did clear, but it was so close I almost guarantee it would have melted fairing. So I figured rather than it melting it, making it look a mess, I'll just trim it out and that'll be that. In all honesty with you folks, I do want to paint this the same colour anyway. I do want to colour code this, so cutting it's not end of world, so I'm not fussed. But did it fit? Yes, it fits. Now I'm not having a sound clip because I want to get mine and May's faces on camera, so I'm not having a sound clip, I'm not listening to it. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room. We need to sort this problem out. So the front pipe fits on, but that obviously doesn't. Also, this is a little baggy, as you can tell. So that's probably not going to seal, so we need to address that. We are going to try and keep the spring fit. I don't know how that's going to pan out. We're going to have to move these back. I think I've got some more of these in stock. It may get welded, it might not. We shall see. First things first, we need to get some chops off. We need to make sure that lines up to that to start with. Then we'll see if we've got enough leg length on this to slip inside there like it should do. We'll try and expand it up, get that a little bit of a tighter fit. And then we're probably going to have to remove these these spring clip hooks and move them back, put some new ones on. So at the moment, it's not looking great for the old AliExpress, but are you prepared to do a little bit of work to save 600 quid? Only you guys can answer that question. But let's get it sorted. Let's get grinder. Let's cut that off. You think bandsaw had done that? It's that straight. Just gonna get a quick tickle though. Well, will it line up's the question. Let's find out. There we go, tacked up. Last thing to do, take it off, weld around that, playtime. And although not ideal, if you do want to save 600 quid and you can TIG weld, or you know someone who can TIG weld, that is a finished solution. Now these, we can probably take these off, but we do want to go and ride and we are running out of time, so maybe at a later date we will get rid of them and flap disc them off nicely. But for now, let's get it fitted and let's have a side-by-side sound clip. All right, there we go, both of them fitted. Let's let them down, let's have a listen, see if the AliExpress one at least sounds as good as the real one. Didn't quite fit as nice as we hoped, but end of the day, it's on there. A little bit of a modification, quite a simple mod. Right, let's let them down, let's have a sound clip. Let's hear them both together, side by side. Party time then, let's have the real one first, let's have a listen. I've not heard it myself yet, so. That's loud, that's right loud. Not gonna lie, I don't like it. It sounds like all local idiots who ride past my house on 125 with a loud exhaust. Not liking it, I'm not gonna lie. That's really, really loud. I'm wondering if you can buy baffle extra. I don't think mine's got baffle in. I'm wondering if baffle is an optional extra for mine. Because there's an hole there, but I can't see out in it. Not gonna lie, for 700 quid, I'm not that impressed. Let's have a listen to the other one.
I'm scared now. Pretty similar to be fair.
Why does the AliExpress one sound better than the real one? Why does it sound better than the real one?
Pretty similar that. A little bit deeper.
I'm not even gonna lie to you lot. That one sounds better. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The cheap one sounds better than the real one. What?
Mine has got a baffle in.
But that one has got a baffle in it. I don't think that has. I think you can buy it baffle extra.
It won't be coming out. I don't want it any louder.
Boys, I'm heartbroke. I'm heartbroke. AliExpress one sounds better than real one. That's way too loud. I think it takes it. I think AliExpress one. Let me stand there and listen.
Not much in them, I don't think.
That sounds more echoey. This sounds a lot deeper.
We are inside.
There is a difference in sound in them, but that's too loud for my liking. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely prefer that one. Is what it is, isn't it? Honest review. Well, I think the last part of this review is now we've heard them. As I said, I genuinely prefer that one. I think mine's a little bit too loud. I need to look in to see if the baffle is an optional extra. I'm guessing it probably is. Let's go and take them on a run.
So you're probably thinking, come on then Nathan, why are you so much of an idiot, and what did you miss? And why would the AliExpress exhaust have fit had you not made such a schoolboy error? Well, let me show you.
Well, just like to introduce you to a little bit of a mess up what we've made throughout this entire video. So there were some bits and bobs in a little packet here what we forgot about.
Which we just thought were springs.
Yeah, which we just thought were springs. So just in case anyone is watching this video, you won't need to do any of the welding or anything. It will fit straight on with that bracket. But I'm not gonna lie, that bracket would have looked absolutely gash anyway. That's like an adapter bracket what goes from original. Why would they do that? Why would they not just rivet that bracket on further down and it would have gone straight in line? I'm confused, boys. So yes, the AliExpress one will fit on with absolutely no work whatsoever if you want to run that bracket. We've proper cocked that review up, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've proper cocked that up. We've completely made a mess of that.
It's like you'd fit it without reading instructions, isn't it?
It's like we fitted it without opening up packets and reading instructions. It is what it is. Forget everything about the welding. We're happy with it anyway because it looks better than that. I can tell you now that would have looked horrible. I'm confused why they wouldn't just rivet the bracket on lower down because it would have gone straight on there anyway. But there you go. The AliExpress one. May was saying, I can't understand everyone when reviews were saying it fits straight on. It will fit straight on, people. So, fitment wise, what do you reckon, mate? It would have fit, wouldn't it? It would have fit with that on. It would have 100% fit with that on. You guys were the judge. I've overlaid both of them there, right there on the screen. Which one do you think looks better? Fitment wise, I think it would have fit on just the same as the other one, the real one. Sound, I think it personally sounds better. We haven't rode it on road yet. Static, I think this fake one sounds better. Genuine, honest opinion. I do think the AliExpress one sounds better than the real one without the baffling. I'm guessing you can buy an optional extra baffle. I don't have it. So as it stands as now, I think the AliExpress one sounds better. At the moment, apart from I do like the loop look, I think AliExpress one is winning. It looks sick, doesn't it? It still looks sick. I do think the loop one looks a little bit better, but the welding, it would have fit straight on there. Take this review with a pinch of salt. Let's go for a ride and see what it sounds like on road.
Not gonna lie, Maze sounds better, and straight up Maze sounds better, way better than mine. This is a rate fart cannon. Listen to it. Oh my, I hate it. I hate it. Oh, it's way too loud, so we're gonna have to see if there's a baffle available for mine for certain. It's really loud. Fucking hell, it's loud. I do like it, I just wish it were a bit quieter. I can probably make my own baffle if there isn't one available, in all honesty.
Oh, definitely.
Right, drag race, mate. Get it in second gear. Come alongside me. Right, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, is it limited? It's lost me some time. Yeah. So there we go. If any of you are watching this about this exhaust and you want to know if it actually makes that much difference in power, nothing. Absolutely nothing. If anything, Maze is faster. So there you go.